What's up, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you with another haul video. Now, before we get into all this haul madness, be sure to go ahead and smash that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and the bell notification. You will be notified when videos like this drop ever so randomly. And so let's get into it. So I kind of mailed it in today, just to be honest. Hopefully, nobody's watching this that it means anything to. But I decided to run down to Louisiana real quick today and hit up the Second and Charles. If you might recall from my one of my former videos, I had said that I was intent last week on trying to find a TMNT Adventures #1 that I had missed out on for whatever reason. I put it back at $10. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't. That's what it was. What's going on, Burt family? Perry Comics, as well as Hidden Gems. Thank y'all all for joining today. But I was hoping that Slidell, Louisiana, or Covington rather, was the place to be. Unfortunately, if it was originally the Second and Charles that I had seen that at, it did not happen today. Just spoiler alert. But I was able to pick up some other good stuff, and there is a comic store right around the corner from there. And I know, stupid. And I found that in the dollar bin. No flex. I know, right? It was $10 for me. I mean, that's still a great deal. But anyway, I didn't pick that up. But I went around the corner to this another comic book store, which typically doesn't have an awful lot. They're more of a gaming, Warhammer, Magic the Gathering type store. And yes, we are live. Flash by night. Thanks for joining. But yeah, so they did actually have some good stuff today, so let's get into it. So we'll kind of go back and forth because I've already boarded and bagged this stuff. But I just picked up Nova Mads 1966. Thanks for going on. What's going on? Thanks for showing up. Lurking and working in that order. Hey, there you go. As long as nobody catches you. I won't tell if you won't tell. All right. So last night on IG, I was able to pick up a gold Wildcats #1. So when it finally comes in, just pretend you ain't never seen it before, but it's signed by Jim Lee. I guess I'm just still a sucker for those 90s gimmick covers. If I can pick up a Wildcats #1 newsstand on the cheap, I typically will. I have multiple copies of that book. And so when I saw the gold foil edition that was signed by Jim Lee in really good shape on the price point, I went ahead and lurking and twerking. Yeah, that's how Perry likes to do it. This is how we do it. Okay. So I guess I was still in that mood when I went into the comic shop and they had the silver version of Wildcats #7. So Wildcats #7 silver edition there. And then the gold version of #6. So yes, I decided to drop the change on that. And Shadow Man #11. I already have this comic. It was $5 at the comic shop, but you'll notice that it's signed up here by Bob Hall. I don't believe that I had a Bob Hall signature. So $5, couldn't beat it, especially if I didn't have a signature already. And so also yesterday in the mail, I got Hulk 181, a 9.8. Yes, this is not the coveted American edition, although I do have one of those. It is not a 9.8. It is actually sitting at CGC right now, waiting on Roy Thomas to sign it. But no, this one is the Turkish version of this. And so I found this on the cheap on eBay. This is actually the first CGC slab that I have that has the character on the label. So I don't know that that means anything exactly, but I have, of course, the English version of a couple of facsimiles, a bunch of homage covers to the Hulk 181, as well as the Russian version of this. And this was the Turkish version. Doomsday Clock sucks. And your Night Owl. Okay. I got you. Comic Mag Musings. Thanks for stopping by. Also got this as one of the comics. The other ones I got in the mail is kind of a mystery pack of sorts that I had purchased from Amy Cleaver. So Amy and her husband Kevin, if you don't know, will typically sell on multiple channels their books, and so I picked this up. You know, nobody was going after it. Can't believe it, right? Turok, not Turok number 1. This is Turok number 4. This is from the Acclaim series. So this is after the first volume was canceled, and Acclaim had bought Valiant, and so they rebooted it for a very short period of time. I think 4 issues on the Turok, and so there we go. It does suck. Well, you know, here's the deal with Watchmen, and y'all are getting me on this tangent, but here's the deal on Watchmen. I liked Watchmen. However, I did not wait as long as everybody else in reading it. So by the time I got back into reading and got around to reading it, it was already all out, so I could just read it straight through, and it was okay. But you know, the first Watchmen kind of set a high bar, high expectation. That is kind of a high hurdle to overcome, and had some really nice covers with it too. So just saying. Then we've got from the second in Charles, the Valiant number 3. I've already read this, but I didn't have the floppies, and so the floppy was on the cheap, so decided to pick that up. Then we've got Batman Detective Comics 956. I believe that is a Jock cover, if I'm not mistaken. Then we've got Batman Detective Comics 52. This is from the new 52, and then it's the last issue before they rebooted again into Rebirth. Then we got Batman Detective Comics 957. Well, can't tell you anything about the Watchmen movie or the follow-up HBO series, but the original Watchmen series is definitely one of the good ones for the record books. Then we've got Highlander number 5. There can be only one, but this is issue number 5. So what do you do? But this is a Dave Dorman cover. So for those Star Wars enthusiasts, especially the Dark Horse variety, you'll remember that the early covers that Star Wars had in Dark Horse comics was all done by Dave Dorman. And Sith Lord, he must have heard me say something about Star Wars, and he perked his ears up. So there he is. What's going on, sir? How are you? Picking up your daughter a nice haul. Oh, okay. Picking up your daughter a nice haul. Thanks. Don't forget your daughter. Hate to pronounce your name, but there you go. I felt it in the force. Use the force. Yes. All right, so we got Harbinger number 9. This is part of a connecting cover. This is a Mikio Sion cover, who is killing it now with the Wolverine and X-Men covers, and had that Wolverine number 1 that was an homage to 340, if you recall. But this was a connecting cover that he did back in the day. Picked up Moon Knight number 8. I think this is from the Marvel Now era of that. It was 50 cents. So there you go. Can't beat it. Can't beat it with a stick. Then we've got Batman Detective Comics number 50. You already had a couple of different copies. The Batman v Superman one, I think another one, and this is a Tyler Kirkham cover, and it was $1.25, so I decided to go ahead and pull the trigger. We got TMNT number 60. Hey, that kind of rolls off your tongue, right? So pick this one up. So I've been trying to fill in those gaps on the IDW run. I only need number 62 to complete numerically the Mirage run for TMNT. There's a couple of first and second, third prints that I'm missing. Don't know if I'll ever. Certainly that is one of the ones I'm missing. In the collection, and so just filling it in as we can get it in. Wildcats number 39. So I've had quite a few of these. Originally, I was only collecting the early ones that Jim Lee had drawn, and so picked up a few here and there. Usually you can find them on the cheap, so decided to go ahead and fill in the run, because typically I'm a run collector. So this is Wildcats number 38. Batman Detective Comics number 41. Looks like a Sean Gordon Murphy cover, but it is not. Looks like his art. Batman Detective Comics 46. And we got number 7. Number 8. And there's absolutely no rhyme or reason the way Second and Charles ever do their pricing. You go on 1 Second and Charles and they say, oh, well, we could all use the same price guide. Okay, well, how is it that, you'll have one issue and it's $10 and I go to another Second and Charles and it's $2. You're not using the same pricing. Let's see. Let me know if you need me to send my address for that New Mutants 98 if you don't have it in your records already. No, I don't keep any addresses. However, we have not gave that away yet because unfortunately we are only at 540 subscribers. And so you have to get to 600 in order to give that one away. Batman Detective Comics number 10. But we are definitely on the right path. Not as fast as Two Brothers Comics, but hey, what can we say? And so found these, and I'm always down for some Valiant. I'm always down for some homage covers. And so these fit both of those check marks with Book of Death number 3. And then also Book of Death number 1. And this, of course, is an homage to Rise Zero, which is a book that heated up before the Bloodshot 1 movie came out. And Bloodshot 1, or Bloodshot, the movie, came out at the worst possible time for a movie to come out. And so be that as it may, they are going to make a number 2. So must have thought there was something good to it. And there's a matte version and the glossy version. I have multiple copies of both, but this is an homage to that. So decided to pick that one up. Valiant, the Valiant number 1. I've got the trade on this. I've got the dollar bin version of this. I also have a French Canadian version of this. And so Wolverines. Zombie Wolverine. Okay, that was enough of that. Then we got Wolverine number 1. This is from volume 3 or 4, I believe. This is Jason Aaron's star Jason Aaron's run. That's a J. Lee cover, and it was only $3, so I decided to pick her up. Then we got Dark Wolverine 85. This is from the second full volume. So if you count the original miniseries, this is the third or volume 3 here. And so towards the end, when Dark Reign was taking place, Daken, tomato. So that is issue 85. Also, we got Wolverine 73. And they did several of these. I got one that's a Jean Grey one, and it'll say the character's name as well as when they were introduced. Now, the interesting thing about this is, so if you got a Second and Charles nearby, they're hit and miss. Most of their stuff is all messed up. But if you've got a few hours to dig, you can find some gems. Don't worry about wasting your time with the glass case. They're way overpriced. The gems are to be found in the mixed up boxes. It says, I was at Second and Charles last Saturday, pulled the same copy of a book 3 times, all had different prices. And I mean, they had Turok number 1 last week or so, and it was that way. At the Shreveport, Louisiana location. And I'm like, okay, I'll pay $1 for it, but $5? Come on, guys. Let's get real. Genome Presents. Thank you for stopping by. But so as much as people argue, is it Hulk 180? Hulk 181 is the first appearance of Wolverine. I always diffuse the situation, or maybe make it worse, by saying it was actually Foom number 1. So Foom number 1, for those of you who are not aware, a kid draws a character who is believed to be where they got the idea of Wolverine from. He has regenerative powers. He looks very much the same in concept, and it is located in Foom #1. And so I'll just say it's Foom #1, his first appearance. Anyways, so 180, 181, which one is the first appearance? It would seem that Marvel, in doing this, kind of established what his first appearance was when they put the cover of Hulk 180 on the back as opposed to 181. So now you have this whole first full appearance. Well, how much does full appearance, how much does it take in order to be a full appearance? A debate for the ages. It's kind of like, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know. Then we've got TMNT 106. I always like to pick up the Eastman variants on this if I've got an option. And then I broke down and picked up Batman 3 Jokers #1. This is the second printing. I have all the other ones. Well, let me take that back. I have all the regular covers of the other ones. I don't have the incentive covers of #1. Then these are what they call, I guess, premier variants. So they're not a ratio variant, but you have to order so many for the store to have any of these. What's going on? Bubs Comics up in the house. He heard something about Wolverine and decided to show up. Appreciate you joining. And as a matter of fact, actually, when I saw that book, the first place I had seen that book was actually on one of your shows, and you showed that to me. Full disclosure, everybody that is watching. So there we go. Rangi and Vigilante. What is going on with you, sir? How are you? Then we've got one of the other premier variants of 3 Jokers, #3. So this other shop, it has a lot of new stuff, and I mentioned earlier that they're more of a Magic the Gathering, Warhammer type shop. So I don't know that how much of their knowledge is in comics, and it kind of shows when you have like 20 issues of one comic from several months ago still on your shelf. But it kind of worked out good for me this time because I was able to pick up a Storm Timeless variant. I already had this book in the regular A cover and went back and picked up the Timeless variant. Had 7 Secrets #4. Somehow my LCS missed that one for me last week. Then we got Shang-Chi #2. Now, I picked up the Shang-Chi #1 in one of the Walmart packs. I didn't buy the Walmart pack for that, but I picked it up and read it out of that. It was okay. So, well, at least I'll give it a issue #2 shot. And so it just so happens that issue #2 is the Timeless variant. So I decided to pick that up. So if it's a horrible read, at least I got a nice cover. Then come to find out that Comic Tom, one of their secret variants, is actually Shang-Chi #1. So also picked up American Ronin #1. My LCS I didn't order, so I can't blame it on them. That supposedly they've been ordering it. I sent them an email today. Don't worry about it. I found it somewhere else because I picked up 2 from them last week. Then we got Red Hood and the Outlaws #1. Bought that at the comic shop there. And this is the second print, but with the red background, I thought it was kind of fitting, so decided to pick it up. We got Dark Wolverine #79. Cyborg Dag Mystery. What's going on? Then we got Dark Wolverine '78. Greg Land cover. You know, Greg Land has never met a magazine that he didn't want to copy. So not a huge fan of Greg Land, but hey, when he does good stuff, certainly want to give him some kudos because he's doing better than me, that's for sure. This is Batman and Robin #42, I believe. This is the movie cover, poster cover for Harry Potter, and this is the Batman and Robin one. I've got several other ones like The Matrix and several other ones that they did, DC did at that time period. And The Fugitive, that was the one that was escaping me. Actually got that from Bub's Comics. He did a rare sale and picked it up from him. So unfortunately, that is all that I got today in the way of comics, because the Postal Service is largely inept. I'm supposed to actually be getting some mailing envelopes so I can mail these packages I got over here for some people, priority mail like they paid for. And now I'm going to have to tell them that, hey, it said it was going to be here to Tuesday, but now it says arriving late. It was in Memphis. Memphis is 4 cotton picking hours from me. How hard is this? Anyway. So we do have some giveaways. One of the giveaways is actually dated because I'm going to be doing this giveaway on Friday. So if you haven't already, check out my IG page. It's Southern Comic Geek, all one word. And it wasn't me. It was the one-armed man. That's right. So the on my IG page, you'll notice that I posted these right here. These are from Go Collect, and these are Aspen Comics. It really looks like Michael Turner, but I think it's somebody else that done the covers on these. Know absolutely nothing about these, but if you would like a chance to win them, go over to my IG page and tag 3 different people. Will get you and those 3 people entered to win when I give away those on Friday. So 2 lucky people will win that. I also have got, as you might know, and I'm assuming maybe it was Dustin that alluded to it earlier, and that's the New Mutants 98 9.4 CGC slab, as well as the Deadpool pop that commemorates that, going right now for the 600 subscriber giveaway. And so all you have to do to enter to win that is be a subscriber to the channel and be 18 years or older. You do not have to be inside the continental United States, but what you do is you go and find a new to you YouTube channel that's comic or pop related. Go to that channel, any one of their videos, go in any one of their videos and type in the hashtag SCG sent me. Then come back to any one of my videos and put in the comments that, hey, I subscribe to so-and-so's channel, and you'll get a reply back saying you're in. And that's all you have to do. Once we hit the 600 subscriber giveaway, if you've done that, you'll be on the wheel, and hopefully you won't feel it's rigged. And you know, if you've been to any of my other giveaway shows, I normally give away more stuff than just that. And then I will also be announcing what the next giveaway will be. And I already know what it is, but I won't be announcing what it is until that happens. And you know, very well, if you put that, I'll take that one too. And interesting that you bring that up, because I checked before I went live, because I have several books. So the last video that I got from a CGC unboxing, for those of you who watched that video, it seems like it must resonate with people, or they just like watching rant videos, because that is definitely one of the more watched videos on my channel. But so those 2 books that they got the labels backwards on were sent back, and they were sent back and received back by them before I got any single book back from CGC. Single other book. So I sent 8 originally. So there's 6 that are still sitting there, and then the 2 come back because they were wrong. Now, yesterday they said, hey, we've got shipped them out yesterday, supposedly going to be here tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. So 2 are going to be here tomorrow. Then before I come on here today, I went on there and checked, and the 2 that were messed up are now being shipped out today as well. So this is very interesting. We'll see if they can get it right. We'll see if the new ones that I'm getting are actually going to be right the first place, and I don't have to ship anything back. There's no pubic hairs or crack cases or labels being wrong or whatever that they decided to do. But I called CGC yesterday and I said, why does this still show received when it was received on the 15th of October? and these other ones are scheduled for grading or any other place in the process. And they said, oh no, they're scheduled for grading, and actually say scheduled for grading, but according to this lady, they actually were graded and in the encapsulation process. And I said, "Oh, great! Go ahead, tell me what the scores, the grades were." And she says, "Unfortunately, I can't. They enter that in once the encapsulation and all that kind of takes place." Sounds like BS to me, but hey, what do I know? But that's kind of where we're at with CGC. At the same time that I submitted those 8 books to CGC, and I had yet to get one back correctly, CBCS received my books at the same time, 3 of them to be exact, and they were in the same order as the books with my presser. I don't know how many he sent, but he got all his books back, and I got all my books back, and they went to him, and then he sent them to me. So they went through, went all the way from Texas to California, and then back over to me before CGC even got one correct to me. I just don't know what the deal with CGC is, but they definitely have problems. You can check on IG. A lot of more people than just myself are posting quite a bit of frustration. You would think that they would, because it's costing them money. And I don't know what the margins are on grading comics, but I can't think that it's awfully high. That if you're having to pay for shipping back and forth to them, and then paying to have it redone, that does eat into that margin pretty quickly. And so you would think that they would be working on a way to get better when it comes to control, because that's like if you work at Walmart or a grocery store, one of the main ways that you can lose money is damaged product that you're not getting credit back from the manufacturer, or somebody stealing, those type of things. And so you can, that's why originally, there's a history lesson that you never asked for, but that's why originally that Walmart greeters were there. Because before the days of scanning to see if somebody walked through with an item that had not been scanned, they were losing inventory in these places they were at by people walking out stealing stuff. And so the door greeters were there more than just greeting. They were there to watch people taking stuff out, or keep people from taking stuff out. And then as the electronics progressed, and that became less of a thing, you still have some door greeters that'll check your stuff and some that won't, but they still kept the door greeters around as a way to greet you as you came in the door. But originally that wasn't their purpose. So we'll see how CGC progresses. But I have decided, and this should be no surprise, that anything that can go to CBCS is going to CBCS, as much as their CGC does have them beat on customer service. In other words, you can call them and get something answered over the phone for what that's worth. As much as I like that, I do not like the slower turnarounds, and I do not like, stuff not being right. So we'll see how it goes. If CBC, so one of the things obviously is in-house signings. I'm not a big fan, but as you might know, I have my Roy Thomas related books at CGC right now. They're sitting there. And so since those are not going to be signed to like next month or the next, it's understandable that those are not done. But for the rest of them, hey, whatever. But magazine holders, that would be a big thing. CBCS, and certainly American customer service would be another thing, CBCS. But if you're listening, for what it's worth, so yeah. Well, hey folks, that is all I got. I do appreciate you all for taking the time, whether live or on the rewind, to watch this. And as you exit the scene, be sure to go ahead and smash that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and the bell notification, so that you will know when random videos like this drop. And so everybody stay safe out there. Hopefully, whether you go today or tomorrow, if you're DC versus everything else fan, then hopefully you will be able to get a hold of some new comics, at least new to you. Hulk, smash that like button. That's right. And see ya. till next time, keep reading, keep collecting.